welcome to the second session of Cooking with Somali Radio. My name is Anna and I'm with the University of Minnesota Extension. So today for our video, we are going to be making chicken suqaar with rice. So our ingredients for the chicken suqaar today are cubed chicken. We have potato, bell peppers, a chili pepper, carrots, onion, and for our spices, we are using pepper, paprika, turmeric, hawash spice, and curry powder.
And I will be in charge of making our rice for today. We'll be using basmati rice. And for our spices, we have cumin, curry also, cloves, cinnamon sticks, and some cardamom pods.
All right, so before we get started, we need to wash our hands and wash all of our produce. Today for our meat, we're going to be using chicken. And just a food safety note about any kind of meat, not just chicken. You don't want to wash off your meat under the sink or rinse it off before using it. This can lead to the raw bacteria particles splattering on the faucet or other dishes you have nearby the sink, which can lead to foodborne illnesses like salmonella. All right, so we have our completed chicken suqaar here. We're going to talk through quick how we prepared this today. So the first thing we did was cut up the chicken into little cubed pieces. And remember, we did not rinse the chicken before we cut it because that can lead to the raw bacteria particles splattering all over, which can lead to foodborne illnesses. So took the chicken out of the package, cut it up, and threw it in our skillet here with a little bit of oil. Okay. So while the chicken was cooking, I cut up the vegetables that we used today. So cut up the potato and the carrot into matchstick pieces, and also cut up the onion into slices. I then set those to the side and cut up the peppers that we used today, which included a red bell pepper, a green bell pepper, and a green chili pepper. After I was done cutting the vegetables, we added in the spices that we used today. So that included hawash spice, turmeric, paprika, and salt. And then I let the chicken saute a little while with those spices to soak up the flavor. Once the chicken had some time to soak in the flavors, I then dumped in the carrots, onions, and potatoes to let those cook for a few minutes. I also poured in some water and then covered the dish so that those vegetables could get a good steam. And for the last step today, after the initial veggies were softened a little bit, I added in the bell pepper and the chili pepper to let those just slightly soften so they still have a little bit of crunch when the dish is eaten. All right, so while we were preparing the chicken suqaar, we were also making the rice that we are going to serve with this today.
So that was my part in helping out with this delicious dish. So we were making basmati rice. So the very first step that we did is actually measure out 2 cups of rice and put it in a bowl and wash it. We washed it until the water came out nice and clear. That ensuring that you take out the the starch that's in the rice to make a perfect rice each and every time. So then after we set aside our rice, we went ahead and started measuring out our spices. So what we ended up doing is, first of all, we measured out the spices that needed to be ground up. So that would have been our 5 cloves. Then once those were nice and ground up, we added a teaspoon of cardamom, a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of curry, and we mixed it all up, all our spices together. After that was done, then we went over to our stove, and in a pot we sauteed the spices with 1 tablespoon of oil along with the onion that we had cut up, and we sauteed those until it was nice and tender. The onion was nice and tender, and it absorbed all the spice flavors. So after the onion was nice and sauteed along with the spices, then we went ahead and added our rice to it. We sauteed that, also not to the point of getting brown, but getting it nice and toasty. Once we got it nice and toasted, then we added our water to our rice. All right, so we let our water boil, and once it got to boiling, then we turned down our heat to simmer, cover the pot, and let it cook for about 30 minutes. Now we just wait till the rice is done.
Thank you for joining us today in the second video in the series Cooking with Somali Radio. Today we made our chicken suqaar with brown basmati rice. With this being such a common dish, it provides a really great opportunity to make some healthy changes to make it even a more nutritious and well-rounded meal. So for example, we used brown basmati rice today instead of white rice. So the brown rice is higher fiber as it contains the entire grain. So with that fiber, that is contributing to our heart health and our digestive health. Yeah, so high fiber foods, including the brown basmati rice that we used and also the variety of vegetables we used today, are important for helping to keep us feeling full and satisfied longer, which means that we're less likely to fill up on foods that are less nutritious for us. Another change we made today was instead of using beef, we used cubes of chicken. So chicken is considered to be a lean protein, and lean protein sources contain a similar amount of protein compared to their beef counterparts, but just have a lot less fat and calories in them. Lastly, we used a variety of different vegetables today, including red bell pepper, green bell pepper, green chili pepper, onion, carrot, and potatoes. So using a variety of different color vegetables helps ensure that we're getting a variety of different nutrients and minerals in our diet. Another thing we did today was we left the skin on the potatoes instead of peeling it first. So we made sure to scrub the potato really well when we were washing it to get any dirt off. But the peel of the potato has a lot of nutrients in it, including iron, which helps to transport oxygen throughout our bloodstream and our body, and also potassium, which helps with our metabolism and also helps our body to use the energy that we're getting from the food. So you can catch these videos on FLAC Online and tune in also to the radio broadcasts where we talk about more nutritional topics and buying local food on KZYS.